Hi everyone. A few years ago, Rolex relaunched their Air King model as a more sporty, solid, more chunky watch than the previous ones, which were a bit more like a Datejust, really, cross between an Oyster Perpetual and a Datejust. They made two versions, initially the 116-900, and then they changed it to the 126-900 in 2022. At the moment, we have both the 116-900 and the 126-900 in stock. So I thought it might be interesting just to have a quick look and see what the difference between the two models are. If you look, very simply, they look very, very similar. From across a room or from across a table, you'd have to look quite hard to know what the difference between the two is. But they are quite fundamentally different. And one of the biggest differences is something you perhaps wouldn't think of. So this is the 126-900, the 2022 model. And this is the 116-900, which is a 2021 watch. Fundamentally, the difference between the two, it has a different movement. So the 116-900 has the 31-31 movement in with a 48-hour power reserve. The later model has the 30-32 with a 70-hour power reserve. Now, basically what that means is once it's wound up, if you take it off and leave it laying on a table, that one will continue running for 2 days, that one will continue running for nearly 3 days. That's it, really. Not a great deal of practical use to a lot of people. So what are the actual differences? The dial on the 116-900 has Swiss made at the bottom. On the 126-900, you'll see that there's a crown in between the Swiss and the made. That's a common feature on later reference Rolexes. Next difference, bigger one again. The 126-900 has crown guards on the case, curved out here to protect the crown, but also as an aesthetic difference, whereas the 116-900 doesn't have those. It just has plain sides. Next big difference is the bracelet. The 116-900 has a slimmer bracelet with a standard opening clasp like the Milgauss and the Datejust. The 126-900 has a slightly wider bracelet. They're both 20 millimeters at the watch end, but at the clasp end, the later watch has a wider bracelet. But more importantly, really, it has the flip lock clasp. So the same clasp as the Submariners and Sea Dwellers with the extra security of the flip. So those are most of the main differences. The big difference that a lot of people don't realise is the size of the case. On the 116-900, the case has curved sides like a Datejust or a Milgauss. They have a nice rounded curve to them. To bring it more into line with the dive watches, the 126-900 has straight sides to the case. So that goes well with and is in keeping with the flip-lock clasp. So the differences might be subtle and quite difficult to spot across a table or across a room, but fundamentally, the 116-900 leans more towards the dress watch side of sports Rolexes. The 126-900 definitely leans more towards the dive side, sports side of their sports watches. So that's the difference between the 116-900 and 126-900 Air Kings. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe and we'll bring you more. Thanks a lot.